Hey, how's it going? So, thoughts today are shifting from a mind frame of lack to a mind frame of, we'll say, abundance. Now, abundance is a very, very overused term, and or shall I say phrase, in a lot of spiritual circles, and it almost seems as though it sometimes loses its meaning. Just like people saying blissed out. Blissed out means, bliss actually comes from Sanskrit, which means to experience something outside of yourself, so it really doesn't have anything to do with a feeling, so to speak. But that's another video. Anyways, so for abundance, many of us walk around with a constant thought patterns of lack, and I was definitely one of those people. I've completely shifted, and you would say that I do live in abundance now. And you know what? That was a choice I had to make. I didn't realize that it was a choice. I thought it was something that one was just handed to, but it was work. But a good, a potential, but not 100% way of figuring out, do I live in lack or do I live in abundance, is just to ask yourself this question. Okay, what would you do if you, I don't know, won $100 million right now? Okay, so you thought about it a little bit? Cool. Now, was it thoughts along the lines of your response to that? Was it, oh, I wouldn't have to worry about my bills anymore. I wouldn't have to worry about this. Was it things along the lines of what you wouldn't have to worry about anymore? Or was it, I would take a trip. I would get a car. I would go adopt 20 puppies. Whatever your thing is. Was it what you would do, or were you thinking about what you wouldn't have to do? You know, I wouldn't have to go to work anymore. Ugh. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of where you're at, because, you know, we all too often with our ego, we don't like to think that we're wrong, and we always, you know, if you were just asked somebody, do you live in abundance or do you live in a state of lack? Of course, most people are going to say, oh, I live in abundance. Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever. So, you know, now that you kind of sort of have a little bit of an idea, how do we get around that? It is to start by looking at what do you surround yourself with. For the purpose of this video, we're trying to work more on the internal environment. So let's say, you know, what kind of music do you listen to? What kind of TV do you watch? Well, I mean, hopefully you don't watch that much television, but if you do, you know, what kind of publications do you read? Are these things that make you think of lack? Does, you know, your favorite song, does it make you sad or does it make you happy? Because I know that when I was very, very down and out, I would constantly listen to, I listened to a lot of death metal and a lot of just loud stuff that just kept on reinforcing how unhappy I was. And that just, you know, I was stuck in that rut. And see, you can almost liken, if we look at things from a vibrational standpoint, a very, very simplistic analogy is, you know, you take a tuning fork and you hit it. It starts to vibrate. You put another tuning fork next to that tuning fork will start vibrating because of that frequency that's being played off, and now they're both going. Likewise, when you surround yourself with things like music that doesn't make you feel good, publications, you know, People magazine saying that, you know, you aren't beautiful enough or you need this, because that's what most advertising is based on. It's reinforcing the image that you have lack in your life and that you need this thing to whatever it is to make you feel better. So that's a good start right there. And I don't like to go to the extent of saying fake it till you make it, because that when I was trying to change my life around, I was told that, but to some degree it kind of works. you know, if you're surrounding yourself with positivity, if you're constantly trying to look at the good in various things, it only serves to help you out. Now, you know, don't interpret me saying that as I'm ignoring pain, or I'm ignoring truth, or I'm ignoring suffering, because pain is real, suffering is very real. But if you really were to sit down and look at your day, look at your week, the vast majority of people's days, weeks, lives, it works out in their favor. You know, you have a roof over your head, you get food, you know, really, you could, most people's lives, upwards of 90% of your day goes right. Now, there are occasions where, yes, there are people who are they're just dealt a bad hand, but that's not most people. There's a good possibility that that's not you. So, and you just releasing control. Now, what releasing control looked like in my life was, I worried. I was a big time control freak, and I had just gotten out of rehab, and I was living in a sober house, and no, Dr. Drew was not there. So, and my rent was $750 a month. I had no job. I had just lost I hadn't lost my business, but I used to own my own business. So I had no income whatsoever, and I was told I was on my own. So, which was fine. It was something that I needed to do. So I was so anal retentive about, I need to find a job, which obviously bills were real. And I was going to every fast food joint I could. You know, I had to lower myself to going to something like that. Me, this business owner, I'm now asking for a job at KFC. And I realized that what I was doing was just all for naught. And I was told that if I just start to focus on other people and try to bring good into other people's lives, the good will come. And I didn't believe it. I didn't. So here I was, having to pay the rent. I had about $800 in my bank account. $750 of that was going to rent. I said the hell with it, and I just I went to an AA meeting, and I started talking to a couple people, and just I was bringing about joy in somebody else's life and bringing about some hope, because I had made dramatic improvements over the course of about 20 weeks or so, and came back to the place that I lived at, and the person who owned the house asked me if I wanted to make $15 an hour shoveling snow. I was like, okay. And from that spawned a relationship with the guy who owned a landscaping company, and it snowed a ton that year, so I had consistent income. And it was just, and it was almost, if I hadn't been there at that moment, there would have been somebody else in the house who probably would have been asked. But just the way everything worked out, it was creepy. It actually scared the shit out of me, if you want the truth. So just how quickly things happened. And you know what, my story, it's not always going to be the case like that with people, but what I'm just saying is trying to get outside of your own thoughts and your own worry and focusing on other people, that in turn can bring, obviously there's the material abundance, but just the growth that comes with that. And you begin to, depression can dissolve when you bring purpose into your life. So we all need purpose, whether we think we do or not. So those are just some things to take into consideration. So anyways, that's it. And subscribe to my videos. Send me some questions, comments, anything. And yeah, of course, go out there, have fun, and do something for somebody else today. See you later.